Please welcome Kevin Bacon.
Nice.
Well,
Appreciate it.
dare I say? Okay. That dare I say, beloved? That's what that sounded like.
Oh, thank you. It's nice. It's nice to be loved, you know? It's funny, people talk about what a pain in the ass. They ask you about what a pain in the ass it is to be famous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? It's the greatest thing.
Yeah.
People will stop you on the street and say, I love you. And you go, who gets that in life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, I never take that for granted. So thank you. You're very kind.
My first question, is it a pain in the ass to be famous?
Didn't we already go over this?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's funny watching that clip right there. You get to be a bad guy in the new Beverly Hills Cop. And then
Yeah.
also in Maxine, you get to be a bit of a scumbag in that as well.
Yeah. Very real scumbag.
What demons are you exercising?
You know what? It's funny you say that because, I mean, I'm not afraid of being a bad guy in a movie. You know, there's a lot of people that go, that's like a gross thing. I don't want to do that because they think it's going to somehow reflect on them personally. And I've always thought, I'm just going to let the work speak for itself. You know what I mean? I'm an actor. It's not about me being me up there. It's always about me trying to walk in somebody else's shoes. So when I look at these two guys, they're completely different men. The character in Maxine and the character in Beverly Hills Cop. So to me, it's just great parts, and I just want to be them. And I'm exercising some demons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's where you were going for.
I wonder.
Right?
There's a darkness there, right?
Yes, there is. Yes.
Is that something you had to grow into? Like when you started out acting, were you comfortable taking those roles, or were you in your head about how you would be perceived?
I was never in my head about that.
No?
I was always about I just was always about doing something that was edgier and darker and more of a stretch. And listen, it's like the greatest thing because you live your life and then you get to pretend to, hate somebody without hating them.
Yeah.
Or kill somebody without killing them.
Yeah.
Or, do like questionable things and then just go back and live hopefully a decent life. You know?
We should give more people shitty things to do on
Maybe.
camera.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
You get to work with Eddie Murphy on this. You never worked with Eddie Murphy
no,
before.
never worked with Eddie Murphy, and it's really cool because, he's just Eddie Murphy. He's just that guy, you know. He's so great. He's so cool. The way he comes on the set. And the other day I was on the flight flying back. I can't remember where I was coming from, but I was watching YouTube and a clip from one of his comedy specials popped up. And I don't know if you ever had this experience on a plane where you're laughing so hard at something that you feel bad for the people around you.
Yeah.
And I was literally trying to tamp it down, and tears were rolling down my face. I mean, he's great. And so to be on camera with him and to be in a scene like that was just so much fun.
Usually for me on the plane, I'm weeping.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
It could be a comedy or a tragedy. I'm weeping, and I'm not trying to hide it from other people. I'm looking for any kind of comfort I can get.
Fear of flying?
Fear of facing my own personal demons and emotions. Yeah.
Maybe you should take on some bad guy parts.
You know what? If they would offer me any single role, I would say yes to it. They're afraid to let me even walk on to most roles. They're just like, you know what? Stick behind that desk and talk about politics, shall you? It's interesting because Beverly Hills Cop came out. The last Beverly Hills Cop movie was 30 years ago.
Right.
How do you think Gen Z is going to relate to a movie like this? A lot of these folks didn't come up with the Beverly Hills Cop franchise.
Okay, this is going to tell you how old I am. Remind me.
34. Let me guess. 34?
Wait. No, remind me what Gen Z is.
What? Gen Z is post-millennials. So
Well, I don't know what a millennial is.
Oh boy, jeez.
I'm serious. I don't.
the phone generation. It's the
Okay.
generation that came up always knowing the internet.
What are they going to think of the movie? I think the movie is really fun and
Yeah.
really cool. And I would think that, you know, there is a certain amount of nostalgia in it, for sure.
Yeah.
But probably with a franchise that's that well known, you've probably heard your parents or maybe your grandparents talk about it, and you know, maybe you go back and watch the originals.
Yeah, I love it. Now, you're also in Maxine, a great horror franchise. This is the third.
Yeah.
It's compelling to go back. Friday the 13th was one of your first roles.
It was, yeah.
Second role, I believe.
Yeah.
You have a great death where I think you get knifed while having sex, and the knife goes through your neck.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was great because, you know, horror movies, especially back then, were often kind of thinly veiled morality tales. It was a way to pick whoever were the type of people that somebody decided should die. And those people were usually people that did drugs and had sex, right? So I did both.
When I was in high school, that's why I wanted to die.
Exactly.
I was like, how dare you?
Exactly. And, you know, the funny thing is that in those days, like, those were the cool people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those were the ones that always had to die in the horror movies. And so I had, you know, the 1-2 punch. I mean, I had sex. I had sex first, and then smoked a joint, and then the arrow went through the throat.
If you gotta go, pick it that way, right?
And can I tell you something weird? You know, sometimes you know, there's people that have photographs that they want you to sign of you know, right?
Yeah.
And the number one photograph that I'm asked to sign is me dead, with an arrow sticking out of my throat.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm always like, don't you have anything of me alive? No.
That's the image? Is that your fear? That at the Oscars in memoriam, that's the image that they show?
My fear is that I don't make the in memoriam.
Kevin Bacon, judging by the reception you had, you were going to be there.
You think so?
And they're not going to show you dead. They're going to show a picture of you having sex at the end of it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Listen, hopefully that's how I die.
Hopefully that's how you go out, man.
Yeah.
I was going to segue into your marriage, but it feels weird now.
Does it? Yeah. You know why it feels weird?
Why?
Because married people don't have sex. That's why it feels weird, because that's the overall perception.
It is the overall perception.
Yes.
I will say, like, you're all over TikTok, Instagram. You look like you're living the best life, I will say. You and your wife, Keira Sedgwick.
Yeah.
You're singing, you're dancing, you're playing with alpacas and goats.
Yes.
It feels like you've hacked it. I'm curious, what advice do you have for somebody who wants to be successful on TikTok and also save their marriage?
Wow, that's a heavy lift. I don't know. Listen, I never give marriage advice because it's just, we don't know, man. Marriage doesn't work, let's face it. How many people stay married? It makes no sense. Everyone gets to. You should think of it as something that you're just doing for a while. And then if you turn around and, you know, 36 years later, you're still doing it for a while, then whatever. You know, then you keep doing it for a little while longer.
So switch the vows. So not till death do us part, but till maybe September?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Don't put too much pressure on the whole idea of like that. That's why when people ask both of us about it, we're like, no. We're not going there.
Do you get that? Like, do you get
constantly?
Is that right?
Yes. How do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? And not just in the public situation or in a press situation, from like, you know, genuinely young people, especially young actors in relationships who are looking at the idea of two actors being in a relationship, and you know, is that going to be hard? And I just don't have any advice. My one piece of advice that's silly is, my one piece of advice that we usually give is just don't take advice from celebrities on how to stay married, because I mean, that's crazy.
I promise to disregard all of this then.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Cop Axel F premieres on Netflix July 3rd, and Maxine will be in theaters July 5th. Kevin Bacon.